This is Get UNSTUCK Podcast, a podcast for entrepreneurs who prioritize their life first, business second. I'm Mutita Panmook, your host, who dedicates my life to designing and building a business that supports lifestyle. We will learn together from entrepreneurs around the world how they overcome their life challenges, their business obstacles, and yet still get unstuck from the hamster wheel of burying themselves into their business. Because time is the number one commodity in the world that you cannot get back once it's gone. So let's shorten the learning curve and see how can we prioritize better. Let's get unstuck. Hi, Get Unstuck Nation. Today, I'm very excited to talk about marketing today. I have a very special guest. Please welcome Mike Snyder with me here. So Mike is a partner with Raptor USA, a marketing consulting firm, and he also a co-founder of RSM Marketing, where outsourced marketing department for middle marketing company nationwide in the US. He also wrote a book, The Great Marketing Lies, which we will talk about this book mainly. So, everything is marketing this day, like how we present. Everyone this day want to create a brand because we want to be recognized, we want to be stand out, but the brand wouldn't be known without doing marketing, right? That's
correct.
how we differentiate. So how marketing lies, that's something that's very interesting. Please welcome Mike to Get Unstuck today so we can educate and be acknowledged about this trick today. Thank you so much for joining Get Unstuck Radio today, Mike.
Glad to be here, Mutita.
So before we start to these tips and tricks, how you started the entrepreneurial journey though?
Well, that I know, this is near and dear to my heart because I love entrepreneurs, and sometimes the stories are very unorthodox. Even mine's unorthodox. I was born a U.S. Marine. I was a Marine Corps officer, and I worked in public affairs all across the world, really. And I actually retired as a Marine Corps lieutenant colonel. Worked at the Pentagon, worked at NORAD. And during that, part of that was with the Marine Corps Reserve. And so I have two lives. One is as a Marine Corps officer, but then the other one is as an entrepreneur. And so I was very fortunate when I was 38 years old to be able to transform from, a military into small business, if you will. And I kind of look at small businesses being between 1 million and maybe 250 million, right? And start a few companies. And of course, really, my core is in marketing. Have a master's degree in marketing, and so was able to start the company. We've done 2 mergers and acquisitions over the past decades. We've got offices in Kansas City and Wichita, and we're living what we preach, so to speak. Just always looking to doing things differently, taking that risk, mortgaging your house, risking more than is wise, and loving it.
One of the things that at least in my company that I have made mistake is didn't do enough of marketing and not as consistent. That's what I have done mistakenly. I know why, because I have done client work and I put that as a priority before my own brand. I was in the period of like, there are too many tasks and too many projects at hand that, okay, money first before the business itself.
Totally.
I know it sounds crazy, but it was like that. And then the beginning of this year, actually, we decided that we're not going to do this anymore. And we changed the business model that, okay, we're not going to push client first anymore. To per se, kind of controversy though, but our brand first. Because if we not build us now, then when it's going to be pushing further and further away why we start the business, something like that.
Well, I really appreciate what you're saying there, Mutita. It's a lot of folks in business are afraid to do that. There's a little story, right? It's like high school quarterbacks. And so there's this little saying that, with high school quarterbacks, they are today what they were back when they were famous and agile. And so I think a lot of businesses can be that way too. You look at the van, right? The delivery van or the service van, and on the side of the van, it says, family owned since 1972. Well, who cares? Don't you have anything better to say than that? And so, being able to, as the years go by, and I'm taking my own medicine here, you have to have the courage and you have to have the flexibility And this actually comes out of chapter 6 in the book, okay, which is the last truth, which we can get to here in a bit. But, you can't stop. You have to recreate, or at least you have to continue reaching. And that requires a business culture and a business mindset, especially with a management team of, discontent, just not taking tomorrow for granted.
Just not taking tomorrow for granted. Yeah, that's so true. Because I think it's some days this is another thing though. I have seen many people building a business. I just finished a video today. I just recorded a video today that if you started a business just for freedom and money, don't do it. Because it's not gonna give you nowhere.
No, you were so true. So true. I mean, there's a lot of literature out there, and it says, follow your passion and execute well, not perfectly, okay? And the money will follow. And we've seen that in our own business. We've seen that in clients' businesses. What I'd like to do, if I could, Mutita, is to level set. I'd like to level set what marketing really is, because there's really such misunderstanding. Could I do that?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So I want to start with a little story. So it's an anecdote that comes from the advertising category. And it goes like this. So in the old days, 1950s, 1960s, when a business owner such as myself or yourself or your listeners, when they needed an idea, who did they call? They broke open that old Rolodex and they're flipping through their white cards. They need an idea for their business. So who do they call? Well, first they may call their attorney, looking for an idea. Second, maybe they call their accountant. Third, maybe they call their banker. And then you know who they used to call? This person called the ad man. The ad man. And last, if none of that worked, they would call their priest or their minister. Okay. And so what happened over the years was this idea of the ad man dropped out of the Rolodex. And here's why. Because marketing became not about ideas, but became about tactics, websites, and SEO and PPC, right? Paid ads, social media, oh my God, trade shows and banners and brochures and sales presentations and videos. And we call that all that marketing jazz. Okay, but that marketing jazz will not necessarily move the needle. What is still required is marketing. Now, all that marketing jazz is called marketing communication. And marketing communication is underneath marketing. Marketing, and then I'll shut up for a second, but marketing, I want to give you my preferred definition of marketing, okay? I'm going to say it slowly. Marketing is the function within a company that identifies what a market will value and buy, that the company can make or provide at a profit to the shareholders. That's my preferred definition of marketing. And marketing is absolutely the number one. So, in this book that, we wrote, we say marketing is everything and everything is marketing. And I challenge you and even your listeners right now, look around you in whatever room you're in. Look around you. Look at your microphone. Look at your curtains. Look at your chair, right? Everything was made because somebody somewhere, some engineer or some entrepreneur said, I think I can sell this. I think there's a market that wants to buy this, whether it's your carpet. I mean, everything in this world was marketed, right? Because it fit a need somewhere. So that's my definition of marketing.
Yeah, and it needs to be sales from a dream first.
Yes.
Even.
Well, look, I got to tell you, so then the first chapter in the book is about differentiation, right? And it's like, okay, there's several approaches and strategies to get to differentiation. When you start a business, hopefully, so I think a lot of businesses are created, and even our business was created pretty much doing the same thing that other companies were doing, and we had relationships, and so we immediately, like in our first year, we were $1 million company, just based off of our relationships. But at some point, if you want to scale, you're going to have to differentiate. You're going to have to dream, and to your point, and come up perhaps with something that is a little bit different, that is provided a little differently, which is manufactured a little different. And those opportunities are all over the place. But it requires some imagination, and sometimes it requires calling an ad man from that Rolodex, which is very difficult to do anymore, because so much of marketing has become about tactics and not about strategy. Right.
Yeah. You mentioned about marketing communication. which this day of age is so important because how to say this, we consume content differently this day. We tend to don't have enough patience. I mean, at least the younger generation not have enough patience to, well, depends on the product. I can say that, but the application changed the way that consumer buy.
Yes.
Those shorts video, the way that we post, etc. So as a content creator, to think over how to communicate in marketing is so painful.
It is painful. Okay, so I just like to lay out. So, classically, look, this is really interesting. I wrote this book because I was teaching a master's program at a college. In their MBA program, I was teaching strategic marketing. And they gave me this marketing book, this textbook that was 800 pages long. 800 pages. And I started looking at that, and I'm like, there is just no way. And my students, by the way, they were not marketing people. They were not marketing executives. They were engineers and operators and finance people and, HR people. And I'm like, there's no way they're going to like marketing or even understand it if I'm going to just teach out of this book. And so I created an alternate instruction program. Now, we took quizzes out of the book, but I created this alternate instruction program that wasn't taught in the book based on the real world, and that is actually what this, the Great Marketing Lie is about. Now, I'd like to tell you, because you're talking about it right now. You're talking about, oh my God, it's so hard, right? I got to do this. I got to do this. I don't know that and am I not doing this right? The tactics, right? So the Great Marketing Lie, and I'm just going to put it right out there. The lie that is perpetuated today more than ever is that marketing is hard.
Oh,
That's
tell me.
lie.
Oh, I have been like knocking my head off of like what I'm gonna do next month because I'm a kind of person like planning the content ahead, and I'm trying so hard to beat it. Tell me more.
Oh, well, I mean, that's why I'm here, and we're very passionate about this because, of course, I'm not going to say that, marketing communications, the execution is hard. There's technology involved and there's art involved, and, you have to consistently do things well. But marketing is not hard. Remember, marketing is not about execution. It is about the ideas and the strategy. Okay. It is about, how do you differentiate what you're doing? So, we talk about to level set the discussion in the book. And I encourage, your listeners to think, just boil it down. What is a business really all about? And they refer to this, and over time, over the decades, as the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps. You got your product, you sell it at a price, you have a place that you do that, and what you're talking about is, and then you promote. Okay, so there's what we call 4 levers, and what you have to do in your strategic marketing program is decide which of those levers you're going to pull to create a competitive advantage for your business, which, make no mistake, that is the goal of marketing, is to create a moat around your business. And the way that I like to refer to it, I don't want just a moat around my business. I don't want a moat around my clients' businesses. I want those moats to be filled with freaking laser sharks with laser beams on their head that will stand the test of time. And we've absolutely seen it. As a matter of fact, when I was a Marine lieutenant, they said, my senior officers and NCOs said, Lieutenant, your job is to make sure that when we get on the battlefield, we have an unfair advantage. You have created an unfair fight for your Marines. And so we take that thinking into marketing. Marketing is not supposed to be competitive. It's not. Marketing is supposed to be non-competitive, blue ocean versus red ocean, where what you're offering in any of the 4 Ps, right? Maybe it's a slightly differentiated product. Maybe it's a slightly differentiated pricing program. Maybe you're talking about, and I can offer some quick illustrations about these, talking about what you're doing slightly differently. And all of a sudden, your competitors go away, okay? And folks are going, well, I want that. So can I give you a couple of examples?
Please.
Okay. So when we started our company, we were charging by the hour, just like everybody else. This was about 12 years ago, And that's the old way of doing it in marketing. Oh, hey, accountants out there, lawyers out there, you're still doing that. Stop it. Okay. You can do better than that because you're making it hard on your customers. So we said, what we're going to do is, we're not going to say we're a marketing firm. So we changed the way we talked about our product. Okay. That's the first P. We said, we're going to be an outsourced marketing department. Oh, people go, oh, business owners go, oh, I didn't know how to, what is a marketing firm? But, oh, I know what a marketing department is, and I want that. And so we started just knocking down. We called them one and dones, Bob and Henry or Bob and Sally. Business owners would come in and they'd say, oh, we want that, because we also offered a fractional marketing director, which really differentiated the product. And then we said, well, that's not really going to work unless we just put this thing on a flat fee subscription. Okay. And so we put it on a flat monthly subscription. Now, look, operationally, that really put a lot of pressure on us because, we generally hire young people who like to overserve clients. Okay, let's business owner to business owner. I'm not saying that when you make changes to your marketing program that it's going to be easy to do operationally, but, you stick to it, you figure it out. It took us several years to get it to the point we were happy with, and then, you start talking differently. And we stopped talking marketing. In our meetings, we talked business. And we would have our prospects and even our clients go, you know what, you people don't talk like other marketing firms. And I go, of course, because our brand strategy, our whole goal for you is to make it easy. So why would we talk over your head? Why would we talk marketing terms and blah, 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 right? And so within the professional services category, which is where we live, that's how we have differentiated, Now let's go just quickly we work with a food manufacturer. It was a national brand. It was Honeysuckle White, a brand of turkey products. And when we started working with them, their brand strategy, and I encourage every single listener out there with the company, if you don't have a brand strategy, get one. I'll help you. And by the way, it's not hard. You're going to hear me say this over and over again. It isn't hard because everything is marketing and marketing is everything. You're surrounded by it. You know more than you know. I'm just telling you right now, you take a step in faith, and a brand strategy is one word, no more than 3 words, okay? The brand strategy for our company, RSM Marketing, is easy. That's our brand strategy, okay? And that's what you're going to see on our website. And that's what all of a sudden, when you have strategic marketing, it makes the marketing communications easier. So get a brand strategy. So this food company, this turkey company, their brand strategy was taste. Oh, whoop-de-doo. Every food company has a brand strategy of taste, right? This tastes good. And so we started doing the research, and they were in a red market. And we said, look, why don't you change your brand strategy? And by the way, change the positioning of your brand, which is also covered in chapter 1 of this book. Differentiation, market positioning, repositioning your competitors. We said, why don't you make it health? You know what they said? That's boring.
Yes, it's not boring.
And we said, well, listen, we've done the research. No one else is talking about health. And turkey is the leanest, most healthy protein outside of ostrich. I'm not kidding. However, I went to the grocery store the other day and I found turkey, but I didn't see any ostrich offered. Okay, so you can't even buy ostrich. And who wants to eat a cute little ostrich? So we had to go to war. I mean, we absolutely got called on the carpet because nobody wanted to do this health strategy. But, we prevailed. We went to the VP of marketing for the whole group and we argued our case. And we said, and this is critical, just try it. You can always go back to the old ways, run and experiment. So we executed it for 1 quarter. And we have the data. So the category in that one quarter had a lift of sales of 8%. But for the brand, it was 28%. Okay, so they said, wow, the difference, right, in that we attribute to marketing and this whole focus on health. And I could get in deep with, how there's market segments, right, consumer segments, those with diabetes, those who are trying to lose weight, and we actually told them, right, in the promotion program, eat turkey twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and over 3 months, you will lose or avoid about 5 pounds. And bikini season is coming around the corner. So that's actually what we said. And that's just one example of how didn't even cost anything, right? They didn't have to change their product. They just talked differently.
Yeah.
And who out there
See,
today can do that? Many of us can.
this is something that I think is also when you ask the right person as well. I don't think everyone can think the way you think.
Yes, that's very fair.
Yeah, like you have to have like certain experience and also the way that you think to get that pretty instant, like the way you see.
That is it's a very wise observation. So yes, in all fairness, you are correct. See, I do this. I have done this. I don't know how many times. When you sit down with business owners, and because you bring a slightly different perspective, all of a sudden that conversation shifts dramatically. And I'm telling your listeners out there right now, this does not need to take 10 years. This does not need to take 1 year. It can literally be an hour or two, or maybe it's 2 meetings, and then the world can shift. I've seen it because we do this exercise called the brand strategy and positioning analysis exercise. And so that's when we get a management team, we sit down, and within a couple of hours, we're landing on play, because we're not trying to make this hard, and it doesn't have to be expensive or costly. There's a the Harvard Business Review did a study, and they took 3 random people off the street, and they discovered that the 3 people actually make a genius. Any 3 people can pass the Mensa test. Now, the Mensa test is, the test to determine whether you're a genius or not. And I can tell you right now, I'm not a genius. I'm just not. Hey, I'm a hardworking guy, and that's how I've gotten ahead. But you get 3 people together, okay? Me, business owner, maybe the right-hand person, maybe a couple of from each team, my team, their team, and you can reach genius level conclusions based on a collaborative approach. Isn't that just refreshing? I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy in the room. I'm not trying to make this hard. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do this. I'm not going to try to keep that in my pocket. It's a rising tide lifts all ships. Let's be successful together. The pie out there is always expanding, and it's large enough for all of us.
No, but I always understand, like, sometimes only what matters, that's only what it takes to like get it snatched, like just that thing, like that when you was too close to the problem, you won't see it.
Yes. Well, I mean, there's a lot of truth. There's absolutely a lot of truth there. So every day, we as business owners, you put your shoes on, you get in front of your Zoom, or you run down to the office, and you're immediately solving problems, motivating people, getting invoices out the door, trying to collect receipts. You're just doing the work of the biz. And so I think a lot of business owners maybe have a passing fancy. It's like, okay, what's the one thing that I can do today to actually improve my business? What can I do? Okay. And there are lots of ways to do that. You can do that in your HR program. You can do that in your finances. I just say, look, get the book, which, I'm going to tell you how to get it for free here in a bit, and read it with your management team, and just choose any of the many ideas in the book. Take it and say, okay, today, how do we actually get a brand strategy, for instance, that will unify all of our communications, and perhaps even pull a belief, because people like to do business with other people who believe. Give them something to believe in, and we start talking differently. And oh, by the way, I know here that there's a perceived labor shortage. And so what we find, an alternative benefit, is when you start talking deliberately with a belief system, for instance, and we talk about how to do that in the book, to your customers and to your prospects, your employees rally. They like also having something to believe in. And then all of a sudden you're getting better talent. Your recruiting efforts are easier. I'm not talking about marketing. I'm talking about HVAC companies. I'm talking about anybody construction companies. It's like, what? You can say we swing a hammer like everybody else, or you can have a belief system communicated very simply through a brand strategy that appeals to young construction workers.
I'm with you. Like, if you cannot market inside, and if you not believe inside the company, you can't sell anything outside.
Totally.
Like, if your team walking out the door and cannot say what they do inside the company, you cannot sell anything. Like, there's no trustworthy over there. Like, for real. Like that's what I have seen. That's what I'm telling you. Like if I find some clients before that when I record a video that they just do a business for money and freedom. But they don't believe in their product.
Oh, well, that makes marketing and selling a lot harder, I think.
I know.
Right?
And it's contagious, right? The feeling of belief.
Yes.
Like we work from home during COVID and we do agency over here. Even though I do operation, but like how are you gonna keep selling and how can we help you do operation here and keep scaling this part while your marketing hasn't been stable just yet? It's so hard. And I have to be very truthful because if you cannot do that part, operation cannot grow. You have to fix that first for cash flow, right?
Yes. So I want to give you let's see, I want to go to chapter 3 or truth 3 in the book. This is a really interesting idea. So, again, we're talking about marketing strategy, right? We're not talking tactics like websites and all of that. That all comes and follows. So, what you're talking about is, how can I scale my business? How can I bring fresh thinking to my business over time? And so that's marketing strategy. What is it that we do consistently? And so there's a cheater tool, what I call a cheater tool for developing our marketing strategy. Now, so if your listeners out there, so we want to give just a few seconds, what marketing strategies do you rely? Which marketing strategies do you deploy in your business? Think about it. Maybe you don't have any ideas. Well, I'm going to give you the cheater tool to developing marketing strategy. And it's one word, of course, because we like to keep it simple in marketing. Marketing is not hard. It's easy. It can be easy. The one word is easy.
Oh.
How do you make it easy for your clients? How do you make it easier for your clients? Answer that question. You will develop a marketing strategy that can propel your sales and your profits because you're no longer spending all of your money trying to shout louder. People are coming to you, okay? So when we said, how do we make it easier for our clients? We said, well, stop billing them on an hourly basis. They don't understand. They're going to fight. Every single decision is going to be a repurchase, right? Decision. We don't want to put them in that spot. So we went to subscription pricing. That is the answer to how do we make it easier for our customers. Do you see? So if you think about your business right now and, you think, how can I make it easier for my customers? Using the 4 Ps, product, price, place, or promotion, how you talk about yourself. That's a marketing strategy, and you can bang that drum for years and years and reap the benefits. Like that story I told you about that turkey brand, all they did, their marketing strategy became health, and they didn't have to do a single thing differently. They just talked about it.
Golden nuggets right there, everyone. Are you noting something? If you're still listening here. I already take notes here. I already have a pen over here.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about this thing. We are talking marketing here. What about branding? This day, everyone is doing personal branding right now.
Oh, personal branding. Oh, well, I love personal branding. We all have personal brands. We find, so we be really candid here. Okay. I don't talk a lot about branding. I do talk about brand strategy. But branding itself is very difficult. And here's why. So small businesses, middle market businesses, we don't have budgets large enough, okay, to really affect, broad, branding, whether it's on the consumer side, it's on the B2B side. Now, it obviously happens. With every communication, there's branding, but we don't get tangled up in it, so to speak. We like to, have a marketing and brand architecture that is in place, and we keep it simple and we keep it short, head, nose, knees, and toes, okay, so that, everybody's walking in the same direction, talking the same way. And so whether on a small scale or a large scale, that branding is effectual to some level. So, when we work with clients, I got good news. I got great news for people out there, okay, business owners out there. You don't have to have huge marketing budgets. I'm sorry, you don't have to have huge marketing communication budgets. Now, you should be spending something, and actually, I mean, if you're a retail outfit, maybe you got to spend 15, 18% of your sales on marketing. And that's if you're a car dealership. If you're an industrial company, maybe only 2 to 3%. If you're a manufacturing firm, maybe 5%. Professional services, 8%. There are metrics, right? There are some guidelines to follow. So it doesn't have to be a lot of money. If you do it very, very smartly, right? You can work harder or you can work smarter. And that's why we wrote this book. It's like, okay, the great truth is marketing's not hard. And then there are 6 corollaries, right? 6 other truths that will, help you be smart, and get away with your taking your business to the next levels, helping it scale through strategy that helps you also avoid marketing spend that is misguided, that is ineffectual, that, ruins your profitability. It's a lot to get your mind around.
Sorry?
It's a lot to get your mind around, isn't it?
No, I am like enlightenment over here. Like I am consuming. I'm thinking.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
No, thanks to you. Because like I already prepared joining here. I'm like, oh, I have a lot to ask, and I'm learning a lot from you as well. So this is another thing though. I know that you mentioned a lot about ROI, and you're also talking about here because every spend, of course, we want to get something back, right? Like $1, we want at least 2 back. Like what? Because why? If not, why we spending money to do marketing, right?
Yes.
So the thing, at least I have seen like many influencers or like KOL or thought leaders, at least in Thai market here, they usually do some memes posting, like asking agency owners what you want to tell your clients, or asking clients what do you want to say to agency owners. They always have memes comment that, okay, agency owners, can you learn more about attraction marketing rather than doing only awareness?
Right.
Because if you do a lot of awareness and you don't have a lot of ROI, we keep spending money but not getting many things back.
That's right.
On the other hand, those agency owners, they would argue that because your brand hasn't been strong enough and they are lacking of awareness,
Well, I'll tell you. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I want to outline a marketing program for basically every business out there that is really inexpensive. Okay. And first of all, it starts with strategy. Get a strategy for your business, whether you're a consumer or B2B, whether it's a product or a service. Get a marketing strategy. That's 1. 2, put it on your website. Okay. Change the way that you talk about your company. Change the way that you talk about your product or your service. That's 2. 3, execute search engine optimization. Now, search engine optimization is relatively inexpensive, right? All it is you got to develop a crap ton of content, and you got to optimize that content technologically. Okay, that's where we come in. We do a ton of SEO for our clients. And then that's really it. I'm going out on a limb. I'm not saying every company is the same. I am saying generally that's where successful marketing programs start. You get your strategy, you put it all in all of your literature, just or your marketing communications like your website, and then you deploy these tactics. Now you can take out big ads in trade pubs, or you can spend a lot of money on paid ads, but search engine optimization is not that expensive, and within 90 to 180 days you begin getting results. Now we have done this. That's all we did as a small company. And we are now a national company. We get new clients every month from all across the country, and it's only because of SEO. For instance, we don't spend a lot of money. It's just when somebody comes to our website, and we're usually in 3 to 5, firms that are in the consideration set. They say, "Wow, this company is different. I want to talk to these people," and so we get our fair share of the wins. So there you go. There's a marketing program that any business can pursue that won't break the bank.
Yeah. That is another thing. I always postpone to do website, and it hasn't been finished yet. It will. After you say this, I will just like press the button. I'm gonna keep doing that. Yeah. I'm just so lazy to do the website, and like I'm just like, the website is the thing that I'm so indecisive. It's the only thing in the business that I'm so indecisive to, like, oh, what I'm gonna do with it. Like I keep changing with the website. I know. This is
Nice.
like it's the thing, I know, but after you say that, I'm gonna like knock the wood. I'm gonna do it. Okay, I have something crossed my mind. Why you decide to do it as an outsourced marketing department?
Ah,
How it's different from in-house
okay. All right. So,
and hiring for them, something like that.
so one of the it's actually truth number 4. Truth number 4. Okay, there's 6 truths that we use to achieve big breakthrough in business. The 4th one is called how to make choosing easier. How to make choosing easier. And we, look, some of the principles in this book are borrowed. Okay, so Sheena Iyengar did a wonderful TED talk on how to make choosing easier. And, it's like 20 minutes. I highly recommend just go out and view it. If there's one thing you do after this, listening to this episode, go watch that video. And so, in the Marines, when you come across something that's kind of new and you go, wow, and you say, that's a great piece of gear. I want that. I'm going to use that. And so, when my business partner and we saw this TED talk, we went, oh, wow, that's a great piece of gear. We're going to use the 4 C's. There's 4 C's. And so you ask the question, well, why did you call yourself an outsourced marketing department? Well, and these 4 C's are very easy. The second C is called concretize. Concretize. And all concretize means is you take 100 words. Oh, we're RSM Marketing. We do this and we do that. And we got 30 people and dig, which people forget immediately, and it's non-remarkable. And you use a metaphor. You make it visual. So we said, we're an outsourced marketing department. That's an example of how to make choosing easier. Business owners understand what a marketing department is. I don't have to explain that to anybody. They go, whatever they think it is, they think something, okay? And when we talk to our target market is smaller businesses. And generally, if you're a $1 million or even $50 million company, or maybe even $100 million, you don't have a marketing department. Now, you may have a marketing coordinator, one person who's, trying to do everything. But in general, if you want a full-fledged, fully capable marketing department, that's going to take about 10 to 12 skill sets, especially today, especially when marketing execution has become largely technical, like SEO, paid ads, even social media, with, influencers and such as yourself, and whatnot. But they understand what that was. And so using that principle of concretization, which comes from truth number 4, and it works. I mean, here's the deal. When you do some of these truths, it's marketing science. It's not art. Art means something may happen, something may not happen. But science says when you do this, the way it's supposed to be done, I don't care whether it's engineering or whether it's chemistry or whether it's marketing, okay? When you do something scientifically the way it should be, something is going to happen. You're going to get a result that is projectable. And so when we concretized our message, immediately people got it. And so we gained a lot more interest, and we halved and then halved again our sales cycle.
How can people work with you, Mike?
Well, you give what you get what you give in life. And so we tend to give a lot. And there's also a saying that you get the face you deserve at 60, and I'm coming around that corner. Okay, so I want to have a good face. So, you treat people well. And so, we are actually offering this book for free, and it's on our website, and you can download it. And yeah, we're going to ask for your information so we can send you an email and wish you well. If you want to buy the book, it's on Amazon, but you can get it for free. And there's also a link there if you want to chat about it. So let's say you download the book, you read it, and then you have an idea or a question. Just set an appointment with me, and we'll spend an hour or 2 together. And I don't care, great. Take the advice, take the counsel, go off and run, because this isn't hard. Okay, with a little bit, of collaborative thinking, you can be off doing something brand new that is not random, by the way. Look, the last truth in the book is you have to stick with it. You just can't, plant a seed and then the sapling comes up, you rip it out, you plant a different seed. No, you've got to give it some time. And you have to champion it. And you know what? Your people might complain. And we've actually, when we adopted this outsourced marketing department focus in our business, that position, we had people quit. Well, I don't want to be part of a company that's calling themselves that. Well, there's the door. Goodbye. And that was a good thing. We went from 12 people to, 40 people, and so you might lose a few people along the way. So I'm not saying, oh, wow, I spent an hour with Mike or I read this book and, I'm off to the races. Well, you may be, but you're going to have to defend it. You're going to have to champion it and you're going to have to stick to it. And you may make mistakes and you may break some glass, use some eggs, and that's okay. But I would love to spend some time, just exhorting, telling business owners it sounds like a good idea to me, or I think maybe that's off a little bit, and it doesn't have to be my idea or my way. You can get there. That's the message.
Thank you so much, Mike. So I hope Get Unstuck Nation get unstuck from where you are right now and get tons of plan and idea about marketing today, that at least marketing is easy, that Mike confirmed that. So everything is going to be in the description below. Check it out. And if you want the book, that will be available for download. And also there will be the link to book a call with you in the website as well, right?
That's correct. So just go to rsm.marketing, and you'll navigate to the book page, and that's where you get the book.
Cool. So thank you so much, Mike, for joining Get Unstuck Radio today.
Thank you, Mutita. It's been enjoyable. Good luck, everybody.
I hope this episode inspires you wherever you are in your entrepreneurial journey so that you can have your business that supports your lifestyle. Get a show note at getunstuckmethod.com/podcast. Review what we have learned together today and start implementing right now. See it by yourself. The result of your consistent action are worth it. You deserve the freedom to enjoy your life. Until the next episode, let's get unstuck.